The projections just aren't being met.
I mean, the thing that, you know, we've got is a cut coming now, and then look what happened at the end of last year. Took the Chapter 70 money to the tune of, what was it, $800,000 or something.
Right. And they also closed the state, so balanced the books with the federal stimulus money.
Right.
So, I mean, that was a one-time windfall, too, that they're looking at in relation to the potential. And again, what's being said at the state level, which I'm somewhat involved with because of my other position, they're saying 2011 is going to be worse. Could potentially be worse because any economic recovery and when spending starts to increase, the state still lags behind in the collection of taxes and the effects of all that. So 2011 is potentially even worse. So that do we have to anticipate
Well,
that they're going to expect us to share
I think maybe what we
burden.
should do between now and we'll have discussion at financial planning team meeting too, is that we're just going to have to pick a number and say this is what we ought to be working at as a contingency plan, make it conservative, and hope for something better.
I don't even know if you can count on level funding, obviously, so you can't even count on that.
Oh, in terms of 2011?
Right.
Yeah, no, I understand that, yeah.
Okay. So again,
Yeah,
we got contractual obligations. I mean, we're going to have to get right back into negotiations with most of the unions that we've already settled with. Those that we haven't, we still have to settle them. But I mean, the school department just settled a contract, which is going to cost them. And again, how do we sustain them? You know, they think
No, that's unsustainable.
They thought it was a good
Totally
deal,
unsustainable.
you know, and nothing's been done with the steps in there, so you're still looking at 5 to 7% annual cost increase just from a contractual standpoint.
Yeah, last Thursday, we met with Dick Carnevale, talk about DPW, snow and ice. Can we afford to run up a deficit like we did? You know, of course, it is weather dependent, of course, but, you know, let's take a hard look at what we're doing. We want to make adjustments to the way we're doing. The killer, if you look at it, right, how much money in, it was $750,000, right, it was $1 million. And so it was $1 million budget. That's snow and ice.
So, again, next meeting isn't too soon.
No, it's not.
To us to take our best guess at whatever we feel we have to do.
When will the next year's budget be ready for review? It's usually in December, right?
December 15th is the required date that I have to get you the budget.
Yeah.
I anticipate that that's the date you'll get it.
But we have to give you some sort of an idea as to what we think you have to work with, or you have to get to us.
Well,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that the challenge is, you know, you may get the budget in December 15th, but
it's not going to be balanced.
it's not, certainly not going to be balanced, and you know, the question is timing-wise, is it going to be balanced within, I don't know, I think we have to figure out where 2010 is going before we can really think about 2011 too much. And we were balanced.
Which gets back to my point. We need to pin down 2010, even if we give it our best guess, go with the game plan, and last year we did pretty well, maybe as far as guessing. We were a little bit under, but we were able to make it up. And,
well, we're not in terrible shape. I mean, it would be nice not to get hit with this, but it's not like, you know, we don't have any flexibility. We have some.
we have some.
Depends on how deep the governor wants to.
Right, and it also depends upon how resourceful we want to be as far as retaining some of our resources going into the next fiscal year.
Sure.
And that comes down to staffing
or
levels.
Or retaining them just to take care of what might happen at the end
priorities
of
and
this
staffing
year.
level and the adding of positions.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, we know your position.
Yeah.
I know your position. Certainly the board isn't in support of it, so.
Okay, so next meeting will be an agenda item.
That'll be a topic area. Is there anything else at our next meeting that's critical?
Probably the warrant article here.
What?
Just to
Warrant
Yeah,
article.
yeah, but that's not a gonna take up the whole meetings.
We may have I don't know if we'll get in quite at this time, is that liquor license issue that I gave you a heads up on.
Now, my understanding is that we don't have
We don't have
a
those stuff like this.
cordial
No.
license,
Right.
right?
No.
So they had they filed an application?
They have, and the
So they have to
application,
withdraw it.
the application was returned and asked that they would correct it and submit an application for a license that we issued.
So they've been made aware of that.
Yes, we would have informed them rather than letting time drag on. So depending upon when that's received, and I highly doubt that we'll have it, but potentially we could have a hearing on that.
From the time we receive it, how much time do we have? What's the requirement?
There's all types of, we live by the calendar. The calendar says that we have to advertise it within so many days. I don't know exactly what it is. The hearing has to be held within so many days. The decision by the board has to be made within so many days, and the ABCC has to be notified in so many days, and then it goes and sits in Boston for 6
So
months.
you're anticipating having potentially having a hearing on November 2nd on that?
That's possible.
I dread going back
I-
in there
I
and
don't
sitting around for 3 hours.
I don't think, I don't know that that's, again, we don't know when the petition's coming in on the application, but I don't think that's adequate time to let the abutters know again and
Yeah, we
let
can
them do what they want to do,
Sure.
so.
And then it would be, it could be moved to the meeting of the 18th.
It's more appropriate.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, since we're on that subject, that business, has the town ever done anything, Mr. Valiakonis, about the markings on the road yet? My understanding was we were gonna give them a couple of weeks, and that was a couple of months ago.
I had a conversation with them, and they gave me their word that the markings would be removed. If they haven't been removed, I suppose that can be an issue when the license application is brought before you.
I think it will be anyway.
The markings have been removed. I was over there picking up my son, and I took a glance over, and I saw all the what do you call it, parallel parking lines
Yes.
covered over, painted over black.
All the parking spaces have been removed?
In the side of the
No, on the
restaurant?
public way.
On the public way, yeah, that's all been removed. The only thing that I
It's just been
did
done.
notice is that the,
Back to the
you
old
call it
place.
the snow line, is that what you call the
Fog
white
line.
line? that-
Fog line.
Fog line is out. If I remember, before they adjusted the parking, I thought the fog line was more closer to the sidewalk.
No, the fog line has been there. The fog line is put down by
I don't
the
know.
Okay.
DPW, that.
Well, I thought that it was changed, well, it used to be parallel parking, and then when they did the work on 62, the parking, it was changed to the fog line being along the sidewalk, very much near the sidewalk. And then the Center Cafe changed it to put it back to parallel parking. And that's what happened. I mean, I physically saw that occur. Every time I pick up my son, I could see a difference. Okay, so that fog line being, it appeared to be, well, maybe the car's width length. Now, if it was that way all the time, then fine, but that's the only difference that I
It
know.
doesn't sound like a fog line, it sounds like they put a line in there for parallel parking against that side. The fog line is usually 6 inches to a foot from the curb.
Right. When they redid 62, that's what I thought was done at that time. Okay, they put a fog line, not a parking line, but that's what I had recalled.
Well, generally, if you go into communities where the fog line allows for parking on the other side, you know, parallel parking, basically. You see a lot of places like that, whole stretches of road where
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
not
park,
saying there's
right?
anything wrong with it, I'm just giving you an observation of what I saw, that's all. I'm not
And
saying
they
there's
went
anything
into
Oh,
wrong.
no, that's
diagonal.
been changed anyway.
Yeah. So, but they
It's been altered.
did take the parallel parking lines out.
You mean the
No, the
diagonal,
I mean, diagonal.
so there's no lines there at all?
There were no lines,
Yeah.
yeah.
No? You just put parking.
The devil in you.
Okay, Greg, anything else?
No, I had some executive session items.
No? Okay. Sean, you wanna start off?
I'll start, sure. First, I'd like to publicly pass along my condolences to the Dorsey family and the North Reading Police Department on the untimely passing of Melissa Dorsey, who was a reserve officer with the North Reading Police Department. So my thoughts and prayers continue to be with the Dorsey family and our police department. I also like to commend the DPW department up on Batchelder Avenue back on, I believe it was October 8th. There was a water pipe leak associated with a home up there, and then one of the DPW trucks incurred a hydraulic oil leak, and the DPW workers responded appropriately, took care of the small amount of hydraulic fuel that had leaked on the roadway, and took care of the water piping issue as well as that spill up there in a professional manner. And the third item that I have this evening, I want the residents of the area of 45 Linwood Avenue to know, if they haven't already received notice, there's a special permit hearing for home occupation associated with that 45 Linwood Avenue that'll be held before the Zoning Board of Appeals a week from this Thursday on October 29th at 7:30 p.m. So if you haven't received your notice, please be aware that that hearing will be held a week from Thursday. That's a residence and a business that's been operated out of that's caused a lot of pain and anguish for the residents of that particular area of the community. And that's what I have this evening, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Vino?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to echo Mr. Delaney's comments on the Dorsey family, on the tragedy, and to the North Reading Police Department, and our prayers go out to you all. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, my sympathies do extend to the Dorsey family as well. Also, I was going to mention about the hearing at the Board of Appeals for 45 Linwood Avenue as well. Now, the LUC Commissioner's Cup raised over $6,000 for the Ipswich River Park, and so the golf program was a very good success considering the economic times. Also, the kids spot, I believe, is now finally finished.
I drove by today. It hasn't, I would say, a ribbon cutting. I mean, the caution lines are still up.
Oh, did I say-
So there hasn't been a ribbon cutting yet, but it
Sure,
looks
ribbon.
good from the street right now.
Yeah, they had such a delay in trying to get the swings and the finished product there, but they told me the other night that it was finally done. Also, I sent each of you an email regarding the LUC, and they're hoping to have some feedback from you. It doesn't have to be now or what have you, but they wanted to discuss some of the activity surrounding the Row property, and
Was that today?
I either sent it last night or, yeah, yes, I sent it yesterday.
I don't
Okay.
recall. See, but I'll have to double check.
But
Okay.
they would just like some positive feedback and so on. Thank you, Dr.
Steve?
Just a quick question in relation, well, I have a couple of issues, but first of all, as far as job sharing with other communities, we haven't done much in the way of, I know you've been meeting with other communities to see what they're doing in their towns.
That's kind of gone to sleep for a while.
We gotta sleep for a while, but I mean, I really
Kind
think
of
we...
wake it up again.
Yeah, I think we need to do something about that, you know, and, as some of our employees retire, or if there can be some consolidation of services, or sharing of services, more and more talk. I know there's some grant money available in relation to looking at regionalization of services and job sharings and things of that nature. I really think we need to do it. And I don't mean picking on Martin Fair, but, the health department, right now we contract out a lot of our services in relation to restaurants, Board of Health, things of that nature. But I mean, we should do it in collaboration with other communities. Maybe we can get better prices, maybe better contracts. We're talking about, trying to sustain our payroll system here. I know we just made a big investment in Munis, but, there are all sorts of collaborative efforts being done by private industry in relation to handling payroll, handling accounts payable, payables and receivables. I just think we need to start getting a little more active in seeing if these things are feasible, and if not, why not? You know, and again, maybe it just doesn't make sense in some instances, but I don't think we've done enough on that. So